guys? GTA for Life 6996 here, and I'm back with the video. It's been a long time, and I want to explain that before we get the video started. So, basically, me and my family moved, so I was super busy just packing things up, getting stuff out of the house. It was a long, strenuous moving process, so I do apologize for not uploading or lack of videos, but just know that I was busy and I had to get that stuff out of the way first. Also, I know I'm kind of late, but happy Easter to those of you who celebrate. But anyway, that's that. Now we're getting into this video, which is going to be a Highlander in-depth guide and tutorial for For Honor, of course. Now, over the past couple weeks, I've been pretty interested in Highlander just for the fact that he has a very fun moveset to play around with. He has great mix-ups, great damage, and he just looks awesome too. So he's a pretty interesting character or hero that I've been playing with the past couple of weeks. Now also, what was I gonna say? Alright, well, I forgot. So anyway, let's just move on. So we're gonna get into his moveset. I'm gonna go into a bot lobby with just a level 0 bot and just show you guys his moveset and then show you guys the different kinds of mix-ups and stuff that he has. Let's go ahead and get into it. At the beginning of the video, I did say it was going to be an advanced guide, but I also did want to go over some of the basics for those of you who are completely new to the concept of Highlander, just to get you guys going. He's pretty, from a basic standpoint, he is pretty straightforward. He's really good in team fights if you're using him in a basic way, but if you're playing in 1v1s at high level play, you're gonna have to use a little more mix-ups rather than just light into heavy and all that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into his moveset. Now this is one of his chains, which I'm not gonna even try to announce, but it's light, heavy, and I'll go ahead and show you guys how that works. Also know that he has hyper armor on all of his combos, as far as I'm concerned, and also on his regular heavies, his hyper armor activates some milliseconds into the move. For example, if someone's attacking you and you throw out a heavy, you get hyper armor. You see the hyper armor kind of, not really symbol, but the hyper armor kind of outline pop up on a Highlander when he throws his heavy out. So anyway, we got light, as you see, hyper armor right there, and then hyper armor right there. Now you can see on the side, that's doing 18, 23, and then 52, which is pretty crazy. Like I said, he has great damage. I'm actually not sure if, because I'm in how to play, I don't know if it counts my my attack or my gear stats. I don't know if it counts towards that. I'll get back to you guys on that one. But that's that. I wouldn't recommend this chain simply because it's kind of easy to parry the second follow-up light, which will grant them 30, 40, up to 50 damage in certain scenarios. But it's really good if you want to do a quick trade if you know they're going to throw something out. But if you are going to trade, then all you're really going to want to do is the lowland slashes, which is R1, R2. And I do love heroes that have light heavy chains because it allows for better feint games and better transitions into other moves. So boom, that does, yeah, I think it is, let's see here. Yeah, it is counting gear sets, so that's not going to do 52 damage. It's actually going to do around 45, I believe. So what I'm basically going to do, actually, just to get a little more technical and accurate, I'm going to go ahead and make it, or choose a default Highlander, and I'll get back to you guys. So we're back, and I'm back with default Highlander here, and we're going to get back into his moveset. This right here is going to be a heavy chain right here. Now, actually, what I found weird is I did throw out a couple heavies before I recorded again, and I've noticed that it's 47 damage for the top attack. Now, I'm pretty sure it's 45, and this is base Highlander, like no gear sets whatsoever. He's got 0 gear level or gear score, so I'm not sure how that works, but I know and I've heard that it's 45 for his top heavy, so we're just gonna have to deal with it at this point. So yeah, his heavy chain. I believe the follow-up of his heavies are around 600 milliseconds, but I'm not sure. Just know that at high level play, you're probably not gonna be able to get that off. Maybe against an assassin if you're lucky because of their reflex guard, which maybe will confuse them or something, but just know that you're probably not going to land that a lot. So that's that. Getting into his, what I would like to call his opener, mainly because I see a lot of Highlanders use this to open up heroes and engage in combat. You know, but ultimately there's a really better way to use Celtic Curse, and I'll, you know, tell you guys more about it in you know, more into the video. But anyway, we're gonna go and do Celtic Curse, and this can actually be soft feinted into, because it says top X heavy, but you know, anyone knows Highlander, you know you can do this already. So let me just show you guys. You can do that, and then you could also do, oops, I like to delay it. That's why it kind of took long, but you could also do it fast too, which is kind of easier to parry. If you do want to throw them off, you can just do this, or oops. Yeah, you just have to delay it pretty good, and it'll kind of catch them off guard. Sometimes it'll land, most of the time not. Now we have entering offensive form, and then I'll go over his offensive form attacks and moves and whatnot. So instead of doing this, I like to go into, because people can light you out of it. If you light attack and then go right into it, it's harder for them to interrupt you rather than just going right into it. So we'll do this. Now getting into his offensive lights, those are 400 milliseconds. You're most likely going to land these, and even if you mix it up with a couple of emotes, he does have an emote, which you can actually, you know, use for mix-ups and kind of confuse and mindfuck your opponent in a way. So yeah, throw those lights out. I believe you can throw it around, let's count here before you get out of stamina. So yeah, these do 10 damage, so I'm pretty sure the damage is up by 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do around 5 before you get out of stamina. But your opponent will probably catch on and then be kind of like, you know, looking out for those light attacks, so you're probably not going to land all of them. Plus, you know, it's a lot of, you know, you're only doing 10 damage at a time, so it's not really worth the stamina. So that's going to be his enhanced lights and offensive form. We also went over his emote, which you can use as kind of, I like to call emote tech, and just kind of play around with it. We'll get into that. We'll get more in depth with that more into the video. His sprint attack, I would like literally never use this, but if you guys want to see it, if you've never seen it, that, which is an easy parry, you can actually feint the second go around. I forgot to, but it's feintable. So let's go over now guard break follow-ups, because I do want to get that, it's kind of a simple thing, out of the way. Now what I like to do is, unless they're down to 25 health, you know, I like to throw out a light and then go right into offensive stance. But you can also do his zone, which you can feint. It does take a lot of stamina, as you can see. Takes up 3/4 of your stamina right there, only for around 25 damage. So it's really only good to use when you know that it's gonna kill him, because more than likely you're probably gonna be out of stamina by the time you get that going, and then you're gonna be in trouble, depending on who you're going against. Plus, being out of stamina in general just sucks. So that's that. So let's say I go into offensive form. I'm probably gonna throw it a light. Maybe go into some mix-ups. Oh, also, I actually didn't go over his actual unblockable attack, and then his kick and his grab. So let's go ahead and do that, because I totally forgot. My bad. So his kick, just know that the unblockable attacks deal 40 damage, not 42. Oh, he also has a 400 millisecond dash recovery in offensive form, so it's super easy to dodge attacks and then go. Say, you know, this Peacekeeper throws a heavy at me, I can dodge it and then do an offensive heavy for a quick 40 damage right there. Pretty good counter attacker when it comes to that. Because it does get tricky. They'll actually, you know, throw a feint out and then get you to, you know, dodge and throw that out and parry you, or, you know, do whatever. So yeah, it gets a little tricky up in high level play. And then we also have his grab. Yeah, so caber toss. Boom. Follow it up. You get a free heavy off of that, and you also get a free heavy off of the kick. So that's that. Okay, so I feel like with this we can get into more advanced levels of play and more advanced styles. And I'll show you guys some of the mix-ups that I use on a daily, or that I have been using. So let's go and get into it. So this, I like to do this, and then maybe if they go for a parry or dodge, you can get free light attack off from just feinting, just a simple offensive heavy feint. Into a light, when you get, if you land the guard break. Some of them, you know, high level, they're more than likely not going to fall for it more after a couple times. But then that's when you could start mind gaming them and then actually throwing it out, and they're not going to react to it because they think it's going to be a feint anyway. And then you could get some cool 40 damage right there. And then you could also do. Oops, I meant to. Okay. Let's try this here again. Okay, so I was doing the inputs wrong, but you can actually feint a heavy into a caber toss. What you're gonna want to do is when you let go of heavy, once you let go of heavy to throw out the attack, you're gonna hold down and square at the same time. So hold down on the left stick and then square, which will catch any dodgers. If they're parrying it, if their heavies are fast enough to you know, interrupt the caber toss, then you're more than likely, so you're better off, you know, just, it's better off using it if you know they have a tendency to dodge the attack. Then it's better to use that for that. You can also do that, which actually, you know, if they go for a dodge on it, I mean, it only works if they're gonna parry it. So it's kind of the opposite of the other attack. It works for dodgers. The caber toss, grab, or the heavy into grab works against people who are dodging, and then the heavy into kick works against people who are parrying because they're not gonna have time to cancel it. And then boom. So yeah, you're just gonna, you know, once you let go of heavy, just press square right after. You don't need to hold it down or anything. And then you can also do this, which is a little advanced. You can do even that, which will, it's pretty crazy. It does, or takes a lot of stamina, but it's a pretty good mix-up that'll work a lot. And basically to do that is basically you're gonna let go of square. I mean, let go of R2, and then press square, and then when you press square, press down and square again. So boom, let go of R2. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but let's see. Let's try it again. So let go of R2, square, down square, and then you're gonna land that. Okay, is there anything I missed in that? No. Let's see here. Let's see, what am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything. And then, you know, getting back to the Celtic curse here. So basically, what I like to do is when I'm engaging into the curse, you can hold heavy right after and then go right into offensive stance and maybe throw out a light or so or something, you know. Which I like to do that if there's people who are parrying my lights and I can't get an offensive stance. And even then, if they're parrying your lights consistently, because Highlander's lights are only 600 milliseconds, which is an easy parry for high-level players, you can always walk backwards and then go right into offensive stance from there. They won't be able to parry it, unless they're like right on you, like this Peacekeeper is. If she's like on me as I'm going backwards, she can probably parry it. Yeah, if your stamina is low as well, and you happen to get into offensive stance, I would just throw out a light and then reset the fight, go back to defensive form, get your stamina back up, and then go back to mix-ups. You could also cancel a heavy into a light, like that, so anyone who's going for a parry. Okay, you have to do it super early, though. Like I said, super early. Let's see if I can do it again. Nope. Okay, it's like super early. Yeah, it'll be super early. Which means that in high level play, most people will wait for the timing, so it's probably gonna land if that person parries super early. So it's not really that helpful, but it's just something to note. So there's that. In terms of parry follow-ups, I'm gonna transfer over to a bot and then show you guys his parry follow-ups. We can get off of parries and whatnot. So let's go ahead and transition over to that. Alright, so we're back here, and then we're gonna show you guys the parry follow-ups, you know, what he gets and stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. You do have a light right there, and if he does have another one, I'll show you guys what you can get. So off of a regular heavy parry, he gets a light attack, which is good because you can go right into offensive stance from that. Oh, another mix-up that I failed to mention, which is like what makes Highlander so popular, is his kick into grab, which is basically one of the only 50-50s in the game. But I want to show you guys to do a little bit more than just his cheesy 50-50 grab, which I'm not going to lie, I use. But also, you know, I use a lot more than that. That's not the only thing I use. So just keep that in mind as well. Let me go ahead and turn this down a little bit. That he has that. So, yeah. Oh, another thing, too, I have to show you is he has Crushing Counter-Strike in every direction, which deals 30 damage. So if you do go for a, you know, parrying a heavy, instead of parrying a heavy, if you're already in the guard, just go for a high level play. They'll start baiting you, and because you can't feint lights, they'll parry your light. But you already have to be, unlike a parry, you have to be in the guard that they're attacking you from already. So you can't change and then go to that guard because you just can't. So that's also something to note. Now, a thing that I like to do that catches a lot of people off guard is when they throw out a heavy, I'll go into offensive stance, and then I'll actually do a 50-50 from there, because they'll think that I can get a kick off of a parry, off of a heavy parry, but I'm really just bamboozling them. So that's something to always do if you want to get some quick damage. That was a free light that I could have parried, but my reaction time is just sucks right now. But after a light, basically, because if, you know, this raider ends up not throwing out a light, I'll just tell you guys. After a light, you're going to want to hold heavy down, R2 down, and then release it, which will give you a offensive heavy, which will do 40 damage. So he gets 40 damage off of a light parry, and then around 15 off of a heavy, or maybe 40 if you want to bamboozle them and go with the 50-50 after it. And just to, like, show you guys, damn it, just to show you guys again, after a heavy parry, you can do that and just, yeah, mess up their minds. Out of stamina, if he gets out of stamina, I'll show you guys the maximum punish. So with no wall, oops, I did not mean to do that. So with the wall, he gets a light into a heavy chain. Without a wall, he's gonna get just a normal heavy, top heavy, which will do 45. God damn it, which will do 45 damage. So with the wall, 40 damage, or without a wall, 40 damage, and with the wall, I think that's 55 damage. Yeah, be careful when like trying to get those heavies, because if you hold it too long, it'll go into offensive form, which will only give you 45. You'll be missing 50 or 5 damage. If you're parrying an out of stamina opponent, I'm actually not completely sure, but I believe you get I believe you can do an offensive heavy into another kick. I don't know if the kick is free. If anyone in the comments knows what he gets after parrying an offensive or parrying an out of stamina opponent, let me know, and I'll, you know, keep you guys updated on that. Also, what else do we have to go over? I feel like I'm missing a lot, even though I feel like I know I went over a lot of things, but I also feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff, and I just don't know what it is. So we did parry follow-ups. Oh, I did want to talk about matchups. So right now, just all the time. I do want to talk about matchups, and how he performs against certain heroes and classes. We'll start with heavies. Now, with heavies, you know, heavies typically, you know, turtle. There's not a lot of heavies that play aggressively. You can be aggressive with Conqueror, which is actually one of Highlander's easiest matchups, because if you stay in offensive form, you can actually, you know, like the Conqueror won't be able to do anything if you stay in offensive form. You can bait out shield bashes and punish him for it, bait out, you know, attacks. And that goes for really any hero. I do want to show you guys, you know, how to perform in offensive stance and just get used to, you know, because you are more vulnerable because you can't block in out of stamina. I mean, what do I keep saying, in out of stamina? You can't block when in offensive stance, so you have to learn how to dodge and you have to learn not to, you know, fall for certain attacks when you're in offensive form. So, so in terms of matchups, so okay, Conquer Warlord, he's actually pretty easy to play. I mean, the only thing that really you should watch out for is his headbutts, but if you're already at a distance, because you already have a ton of range over him, you can beat him out pretty easy. Shigoki, it's a little trickier because of his hyper armor. I'm pretty sure that if his hyper armor is up, you won't be able to land your 50-50 on him, or just any, you know, like no, you can't land the Cabertosh, you can't land the kick, because he'll just eat it with his hyper armor. If his hyper armor is down, I believe you can use it, and that's that. Now assassins, this is the class that gives them the most trouble, and that's because they have fast attacks that can interrupt him out of offensive stance. And mainly, the thing that gives him trouble is he can't perform his 50-50 against assassins because they have dodge attacks. I believe the only assassins that get caught by 50-50 on dodge attacks is Gladiator. Both his bash and his light attack dash won't beat Highlander's 50-50. They're too slow. Also, I think Peacekeeper, her dash heavy might be too slow as well. I don't recall exactly if it does catch it. But yeah, Shaman, she gets her dash attack off, which makes it super hard for Highlander to, you know, really get his mix-ups going, because, you know, assassins could pretty much negate his entire moveset. So yeah, basically all assassins except for Peacekeeper and Gladiator can counter him pretty easily. Another person that counters him super heavily, and he kind of counters a lot of people, is the new reworked Kensei. Because his dash attack is also super quick, he can, whatchamacallit, what was I gonna say? He can also escape his 50-50 with the dash attack, because his dash attack is just super quick. Okay, so we went over assassins. Vanguard, so Kensei counters Highlander. Yeah, he counters him pretty well. Warden, yeah, Warden really doesn't stand a chance against Highlander. If you're someone that doesn't know how to counter his shoulder bash, you might be in trouble, but you already have distance. You just gotta keep your distance even if you can't counter the shoulder bash. And by the way, a simple counter to the shoulder bash will be rolling away. I know it takes up a lot of stamina, but once you roll away, you can reset the fight and you'll be at a steady distance to where Warden can't vortex you. So there's that. It's a little quick, easy tip to deal with that, because I know a lot of people still have trouble with that, and I don't blame you. It is hard to, you know, just constantly roll away whenever you see it. Yeah, Warden doesn't really stand a chance because you have distance over a lot of heroes, including Warden. Okay, Raider. Now Raider, he doesn't really stand a chance either. You know, his stunning tap is super telegraphed and can get parried easily for 40 damage. He can, you know, counter his kick easily, because Highlander actually, I don't really think his kick, if you miss a kick, like say someone dodges your kick, I don't think it could be punished. You can throw out, I think it's possible to throw out either another kick or another heavy. And if this bot isn't really smart enough to, so something like that. If they go for a, you know, if after you throw out the kick and they dodge it, you can just throw out a heavy right after. They won't be able to guard break you. So there's, yeah, something like that. Another thing is with the Raider, if he also, I mean, if they don't go for a dodge guard break, they might go for a dodge stunning tap to dodge the kick, which you'll eat that, but yeah, most of the time they'll go for a dodge guard break, and then when that happens, you can 50-50 them, and yeah. What other classes? Hybrids. So Lawbringer, he doesn't really stand a chance. With Lawbringer, you're gonna want to stay in offensive form because he has his shove. Don't let him get, don't let him block an attack, and then he'll get his shoves going. But yeah, Lawbringer's in a pretty weak state right now. He doesn't really have any offensive options, which is why I think he needs a rework, as well as many other heroes. Another hybrid, Valkyrie. Valkyrie, she's in a weak spot as well, and Highlander pretty much whoops Valkyrie every time. His mix-ups are just. And if I don't know, I'm actually not sure if Valkyrie's dodge attacks, they are pretty, I think they're quite fast, but I don't think they're able to beat out his counter. His 50-50. So someone's gonna have to figure that out because I actually haven't played a lot of Valkyries lately. So if someone figures that out, or if you know, then get back to me as well in the comments. Ooh, whoa, a little bit of lag right there. What else am I missing? Nabushi. Yeah, Nabushi, she doesn't really stand a chance because she's actually in a weak spot right now. You do have to watch out for the kick. But in terms of her lights, it's a free 40 damage. Yeah, super telegraphed attacks. What else am I missing here? Oh yeah, Shinobi. I don't think, because Shinobi doesn't really have a dash attack. He does have his kick, which I think can counter it. I think his kick. Oh shit. Or Shinobi's kick counters Highlander's 50-50. Alright, and so we're back. So we just had I had to kind of play against the AI because I didn't know if it was going to kick me out or not, or give me the 10-minute suspension like it always does. Which, getting off topic here, I don't think that that's like the best, punishment, because sometimes you just want to leave the game, and I don't think you should be, suspended for 10 minutes for leaving. That's just how I feel about it. Maybe if you leave like 2 times in, like an hour or something, I don't know. They should give it a little bit of system going on, because I know it does suck when people leave, but 10 minutes isn't a lot, but at the end of the day, it's just like I'm getting punished for, having to go somewhere or whatever. But, yeah. A way to counter it is just kind of closing app, but I guess. Alright, so, I don't know if there's any other classes I missed. Musha, like I said, you're going to have range against Musha, or a lot of the heroes as well. So he's kind of easy. I will say watch out for his zone attack. Just, because that does a lot of damage as well, and it comes out pretty quick, so just watch out for that as Highlander. Highlander v Highlander matches, it's just a whole bunch of mind games. It's just whoever has the better mind games going on. Because that's really all Highlander is at the end of the day, is just mind games. He has a 50-50. He has a bunch of mix-ups that rely on, bamboozling his opponent. So, yeah. So we're playing against a Warden here. We're going to see how he plays. If he, because I have a feeling this Warden's going to be doing a lot of zone attacks if I go into offensive stance. So I'm just going to have to watch out for that. I'm going to try to give him not a lot of space for his shoulder bash. So, let's do it. Okay. Oh, getting right into it. Okay. Okay. I feel it. Oh. my god, I don't know what. I'm just super weird when it comes to like switching guards when they're in a wall. Okay. Okay, he got me there. But yeah, back to that thing with the wall. I don't know. I'm just not good when it comes. I don't know if you have to be super far away when they hit the wall to change your guard. But that's just something that I've always had trouble with. In the comments, if you know how to, like, you know, if you're able to change guards, because that's something that I still don't know. As long as I play this game, I don't know if you're able to change guards if they go into. Didn't mean to do that, but it makes me look like a genius. So let's just keep it going. Because I didn't know he was gonna. Wow, 500 millisecond dodge recovery, folks. Yeah, those lights, they come in handy. They don't have a lot of range on them, and they only do 10 damage, but they're really good at interrupting attacks and, you know, catching people who dodge, I guess. I mean, because they're super fast. But yeah, so pretty good game. Not too one-sided here, which I love. That I actually planned because I felt like he was going to do. Got him with that. Like I said, use the 50-50 in moderation. Don't, you know, heavily rely on it. I mean, if you want to, that's cool, but, you know, it just makes you look cheap and kind of like a douche. You have to be able to, you know, play in other ways. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. I mean, you paid for the game. Play all you want, but I'm just, you know, I'm saying, you know, I'm recommending to, you know, play a little more interesting. That's just how I feel about the game. All right, let's go. Yeah, I didn't want to change guards there. Ah, okay. Alright. Okay. I don't want to roll away because I'm gonna be I'm gonna be out of stamina either way. Whoa. Can I get back my stamina here? Ah, okay. Well, he's out of stamina, I'm out of stamina. Okay, he's really good at canceling his feints. Good job. Alright, really close. It's going to come down to the wire here. We're going to see. But as you can see, I'm just trying to distance myself as much as possible against Warden because he loves using that shoulder bash. And also he's really good at reading me and my... Right there, we're going to get the 40 damage. Let's go. Good fight. And see, that's the thing, is don't be afraid to engage them in offensive stance as they're throwing out an attack, because your caber toss is a little bit faster than you realize, so you'll be able to interrupt them a lot as they're throwing out an attack. They're trying to play mind games on you, but you got to be able to get them there, as you can see. So there's that fight. That was against Warden. That's kind of all I'm going to show you. Just a little preview. You'll probably see more gameplay in the future. I was actually planning on uploading a montage. This guy wants to play again. But yeah, in terms of, the tutorial, that's going to be it. I feel like I went over pretty much everything. If I missed something, let me know. And I will be sincerely sorry for missing it. But I didn't really plan this. I kind of went for it as I went, which you could say is sloppy. But, I just wanted to get this video out there for you guys. And I didn't want to let you guys wait anymore for a video. So, yeah. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'll answer them. Do my best to answer them. If you liked the video, feel free to like or subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. This is going to be fun. this this is gonna be a fun one, folks. I'll see you guys in the next one. GTA for Life 696 signing out.